Your gut says Miami, you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So what are your impressions of Valhalla, just for folks that have not seen it on TV or didn't watch the Ryder Cups or past majors?
You know, they see a PGA maybe at a Southern Hills or a Bet Page or, whatever it may be. And they're like, Valhalla and Louisville, Kentucky. But like, look at the tournaments produced and it's insane.
Yeah.
It really has. And obviously, of course, I'm a bias toward it.
Only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access. Only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
And welcome in. It's In-Game Live, PrimeTime on the grid on a wonderful Wednesday evening. Yours truly, Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for the next 2 glorious hours. And oh, yes, it's going to be a glorious 2 hours. I can feel it already as we take it to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Yes. What a way to start the show. That's how you start a program, Mr. Sharapan. Tell me who scored, Rangers, Bruins or Florida Panthers? I think I know.
It feels like it would be the Rangers after last night. There were so many goals scored last night in both the hockey games. But no, sir, we have a stacked lineup, like you said, right out of the gate, first period, Boston. That's the sound of another goal by the Bruins. They lead the Panthers already 1-0. I mean, it's who was that? Charlie Coyle, from Marchand. Unbelievable. These guys are just team won't go away. Don't let them get a lead, a multiple goal lead. I don't know. Wetzel, is it time to bet the Panthers in game right now, right out of the gate? I know you can't resist a good price.
Only plus 120. They're not giving you that great of a price. I tell you, Bruins are now 5-0. They won all 4 regular season matchups, albeit 2 in overtime. I'm not sure, to be honest, if any of those went to a shootout, but 2 of them in overtime. But 4-0 is 4-0. Then they win, decisively 5-1 in game 1. So now 5-0. Now they're on top 1-0. Yeah, I don't know. The Bruins might just have a. And don't forget, I know they blew a 3-1 series lead 2 years ago, or last year, but they did have a 3-1 series lead. So, I mean, if they just would have gotten their act together and finished it out in 5, you could make the case that the Bruins have owned Florida for whatever reason. So, I don't know.
On the road, Scott, on the road. Look at their last 9 road games, 7-2, including 3-1 in the postseason, which is right now. Listen, if you got Florida tickets on them to win the Cup, if you got Florida tickets on them to win the Eastern Conference, you're going, did we just run into the hottest goalie in the league? This Swayman may have it, and they're playing like it. I mean, they're playing. They counterpunch, and then when they see the opening, they get a shot and they score. Look, they had a little bit of an adversity in the first round. They held on against the Leafs. Sometimes these things propel a team to the success in the next round. So far, so good for the Bruins.
They're getting gold. Now, Coyle's on the top line with Marchand. They really have 1A, 1B lines with Pasternak sometimes playing with Marchand and sometimes going to the other line. So he is one of, theoretically the main guys. But, the 5 guys that scored game 1, it wasn't Marchand and it wasn't Pasternak. So anytime anybody else scores, I don't care what line they're on, it's a bonus for the Bruins because that's been their bugaboo over the years. They haven't gotten that second, third line production. Brought some guys in, helped out a little bit, but if they get the production, point being, from these other guys, then you get the goaltending with Swayman. I mean, I got mixed emotions, Dave, because our little parlay here, 3-team, 3-league championship parlay, we did not include the Boston Bruins. And I am a Bruins fan, obviously, and we got 1 leg down, 2 legs to go. As you see there, we hit with look at the boys making a quick little edit. We hit with UConn, obviously the NCAA, and we got Florida, Dallas, and Colorado. So we're still looking pretty good in the Western Conference, right? We're going to have at least 1 team in the Western Conference Finals, or 1 team we will. But do I root against Florida? Do I root against Boston? Yeah, I don't know what to do. I got mixed emotions.
Business is business. I mean, let's pay attention.
I know,
fandom is fandom. If you got to, we got obligations we got to take care of. You talk about it all the time. I mean, look at me. I'm dressed in the New York stuff. Frankie,
that's gotta be tough.
The boys put me in all the Knicks stuff already. We'll get to that game here in a second, but I had to break out the only New York stuff I got. Yankees it is tonight, and. Is it Knicks for you tonight? I mean, you saw the spread, -4.5. What do you think?
I like Indiana tonight. I think Indiana's going to win. They got screwed, right? The 2-minute warning or 2-minute drill or 2-minute whatever they call it with the NBA admitted they effed up on one of the calls, and then a bunch of others that we didn't even know about. Right. But they did say the screen was the right call. But I'm thinking maybe the referees lean towards Pacers tonight. Getting 4.5, maybe 5 in some circles. FanDuel has it at 5. Actually, now it's back down to 4.5. I did see it at 5 in some circles, but 4.5, 5. Knicks have only 1-5 against the spread at home this postseason. I'm thinking this is going to go down to the wire. Maybe the breaks go Indiana's way tonight.
Are you thinking money line? Is that what I heard?
I'm thinking,
all that,
yeah.
You think Indiana wins the game outright?
I'm going to take the 4.5, 5. I did, but
okay.
I'd put a couple shekels on the over as well. But the Knicks have played a lot of close games. I rarely, at 4.5, I'll just bet the money line thinking, all right, I'll take my chance. But the Knicks have played a bunch of close games this postseason. Right, 3 or 4 with Philadelphia, where the point spread has come into play. The first game against the Pacers, point spread comes into play. So I'm going to lean towards the Pacers plus the 4.5.
I'm with you. I'm in agreement. I think every game in this series is going to be close. I don't think we have a blowout. I don't think, like last night, okay, we have a black cloud play of the day every day and smoking easy, hot, no problem yesterday with the black cloud play of the day with the Dodgers. But the producers are coming with a play, every single day now when we do the show. We got a producer's pick yesterday, Luka. They put it on him. He only had 19 points. Tonight, the producers are going hometown guy, New York Knicks guy, Josh Hart, over 1.5 threes, plus money. What do you think? What do you think, Wetzel? I'm not sure about this. I don't know if this was Vinny, if this was Matty G. I'm not sure who's responsible for.
It sounds like it was Matty G, huh? Yeah, let me see. This guy's throwing up more bricks. I tell you what, he could be a layman for sure this postseason. I mean, I'm a little surprised you're going with, I don't know why, Josh Hart. You got DiVincenzo, who's on fire. You got Brunson, who's on fire. Why are we pushing the envelope for Josh Hart, for goodness sakes?
I don't know. I like the price.
I guess he had to pick a Villanova guy, and then he took the third wheel. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Villanova guy. Okay.
3-pointers.
I don't know.
1 his last game. He did have 3 last game against Philly. 1, 0, 4, 4, 4. All right, that's not bad. He doesn't take that many, though. I will tell you that. So
Right.
he's either got to be on or he doesn't take them. But I'm okay with that one. I'm okay with that one.
Okay. That's a
not
good
too
price.
bad.
We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
We almost need a sound or some sort of thing every time he hits one, kind of like the goal horn,
Right.
because we need to know where we stand with that, like a swish sound or something. I don't know. We'll have to come up with something. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. This is a big night. Again, the hockey games lived up to the billing yesterday. It was unbelievable. I don't know how. Did you stay up late and watch the hockey games from yesterday?
I did, but I didn't watch it. I got stuck on something. I forget what the heck it was. I don't know, but I got home. It was 3-3 by the time I actually got home from my travels here. And I don't know. I got distracted. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I don't know. I might have been talking to the wife. I lost my mind somehow or another. Yeah, possibly. Yeah,
Probably
well,
working on the same game parlay for today. You probably started
with her.
working
I was
on
getting
the same game parlay for the people.
Right. I was asking her for advice. Yeah. So, you know how much I respect her opinion on things. So, yeah. That was it. So I missed the overtime goal. All right. In-game live, prime time. Continues after this.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, prime time on a wild Wednesday, just underway. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. I must say, I feel lucky tonight, Dave. You know, there are times where you feel like it's just, man, whatever you do, it's not going to work, right? You could have a 20-point lead with 10 seconds left and somehow or another blow it. So today, though, first of all, we got the Bruins leading 1-0, and my heart will supersede my wallet for this instance. But today, I've got to put the Dodger game in, right? So yeah. I see it's an afternoon game, which I kind of figured getaway day. And, you know, right. It's 3 o'clock East Coast time. So you're in the middle of your day doing football full circle, doing my podcast I do. And I look up and it's 4:15, and I realize, oh, fudge, the Dodger game started already. Son of a gun. I know it's going to be 5-0 Dodgers. I missed the call, right? So I see it's 1-1 in the 5th or 6th inning, whatever it was. Okay. And I'm like, all right, so the odds got to be pretty similar. Let me log on, and I log on, and it's still minus 230 or so to 1, and I can lay a run and a half getting odds since it's in the 6th inning. And I said, and it's tied 1-1. Why not? I was going to bet it, so I put a couple shekels on the money line, put a couple shekels on the minus a run and a half, even though I knew I only had realistically 3 at-bats left, 6th, 7th, and 8th inning. And not 15 seconds later, Hernandez hits a 2-run homer, and the Dodgers lead 3-1, and I got my bet in. See, on a bad day, I look 15 seconds later, and I don't get the bet in, right? Because the guy just hit the 2-run homer, and I'm kicking myself knowing I lost the bet because I didn't put it in. Whereas today, fickle fate of gambling, right? I mean, just fickle fate. Could have waited 15 more seconds, literally. Realistically, maybe a minute. No more than a minute, swear. Like 30 seconds. And that determines whether I won a bet or wasn't able to put it in. It's amazing. So it's one of those nights tonight.
Ironically, that was the last scoring of the game. It finishes 3-1, right? It's 1-1 when you see it. Hernandez homers, knocks in Freeman, 3-1 after 6, 3-1 after 7, 3-1 after 8, and you hold on. You don't get the – now, if you were going to have a bad day, the Marlins score a run in the top of the ninth. How many times do run line bettors remember when you're laying that run and a half and you go to the ninth in a 2-run game or even a 3-run game, and they score 2 runs to cover the run line, but they don't win the game? That would have been the bad beat type of loss that, some gamblers are used to and having remembered more. So listen, I'm glad. Listen, let's take this thing and go. I mean, when you get that cash, now you can go and even, make a couple more plays and look ahead and maybe go, all right, now I got a little opportunity. Let's let it roll. I saw you got the same game parlay, which we'll have the next segment. Hockey tonight? Because we don't have much baseball to really look at that hasn't started already. So I'm assuming the same game parlay is going to involve this Vancouver and Edmonton game?
Right. 10:10 Eastern time starts. Game 1. Okay. Both teams haven't played in basically a week. Some of these schedules, Dave, is just, we talked about it. Like Denver, Minnesota in the NBA, they last played Monday. They're going to have Tuesday off, Wednesday off, Thursday off. They're not playing again until Friday. I mean, it's idiotic. Hockey was, they finished their series early, so they wanted to kind of hold off. I get that, but there's no reason why they had to wait until today to start this series.
They have some concerts planned in the building. That's the problem. Those concerts are booked. They're booked a year in advance. You don't know whether the team's going to make it or not in Vancouver, so you got to book the dates.
Don't you have something written in your contract? Listen, I'm giving you 41 dates every single year. We take precedent over a Madonna concert, all right? Or over a Miley Cyrus concert or whatever concert it is. I mean, come on. We're giving you 41 dates, and we're in the postseason. Right?
But your argument is flawed because we can just move it one day before or one day after. You can still play the game. I can't ask the traveling road show of a big concert or a big name artist to say, oh, well, we've sold all your tickets. They have another city to go to. I mean, it's one time usually in a city or 2 times if you get back-to-back nights. Those are big nights, Scott. Come on. It's been a while.
Go outdoors. Vancouver. Have an outdoors concert. Make it like it's what's his face there up in make it a Woodstock. Invite a couple of other local bands. We'll have a big party. It's May. It's nice outside.
This is not like the Wetzel kid graduation party. You can just move from the hall down the street to the park down the street and move it outside. What are you talking about? These are big items. These are big dates. You can't just move it. Plus, It built up the
All right.
drama. It built up the drama. This will be great.
All right, Edmonton or Vancouver? Canucks plus 114 at home with the third-string goaltender. They won all 4 regular season meetings, but as I was telling Maneri, 3 of them, Dave, came in the first 11 days before they fired their head coach. Literally, 3 out of the 4 were the first 11 games for Edmonton, so I don't put a whole lot of credence into the 4-0 Vancouver, but it does show they can play with them. What do you like on this game?
Two different teams, 2 different stories.
Yeah.
Like whereas the Boston and the Florida might, weigh in as far as thinking what happened in the regular season, I'm not really counting anything that happened in the regular season. Vancouver's got a third-string goalie who you may or may not be able to even pronounce his last name. I'm leaning Vancouver. First game at home since, I believe, and Gabe will confirm this later on Game Time Decisions, on Sports Rage with Cam. I think it's 2015, the last time they hosted a playoff game. Home crowd pushes them over the edge. I'm leaning Vancouver. How about you?
Yeah, me too. Same thing. Even with the backup goalie in there.
Yep.
Let me see Edmonton, win another series. They got a bunch of demons, on their shoulders as well. So I think Vancouver, in a lot of ways, just playing with house money. No one respects us. No one thinks we're any good. This, that, what have you. Easier for them than it is Edmonton. So, and I like the over 6.5 a lot. I think you're going to get a ton of goals. I think both teams are going to come up flying tonight. Really do. So, in-game live continues after this.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back in-game live, primetime here on the grid. Hour number 1 just getting underway. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan until 10 p.m. Eastern time. We got NBA playoffs. We got hockey postseason action. Baseball, couple of games, including Yankees and Houston Astros over at the stadium. And we got a little SGP, same-game parlay stuff. All right, we're going to head out to the West Coast, if you will. Different country up in Canada, Vancouver, where the Canucks and the Edmonton Oilers square off Game 1 of their Western Conference Dave semifinal series. Going to put a four-piecer in. It's going to pay a nice little fat 10-1. We're going to start with Vancouver. As we talked about, I had it in at plus 114, 118, depending on where you did your shopping and when you put it in. But they're getting odds. So I like Vancouver, as we discussed, at home. Why not? They're 4-0 against Edmonton regular season. The place is going to be rocking tonight. So we'll play a hunch with the Canucks. Got to go over. I do like the over 6.5. I think when teams have as much time off as both these teams have, they're chomping at the bit. They're going to come flying. I didn't think about it until later on, but over first period goals I think is a pretty good play. But we're going to go over 6.5 just the same. We're going to go JT Miller, 3 shots on goal for Vancouver. He's 9-4, getting 3 shots or more going back to the regular season. So that's pretty good. And then Zach Hyman for Edmonton, 3 shots on goal. He is 3-2 versus the Kings in the first round, but 15-6 going back to the regular season for getting 3 shots or more. So you're taking some risk there for sure, but I like it, and it pays plus 10, 15, 10-1. On that parlay, if it is. What do you think?
So every time you do these, we look at them and we try to find which ones are going to be the biggest sweats. Which one worries you the most? I mean, forget the side because you're taking the dog there. So obviously that one, excuse me, is the biggest risk. But you're worried about the shots on goal at all? That's the one I'm looking at going, not sure.
Yeah,
that's
a little bit.
I feel like that's the coin flip of all of them, right?
Yeah, definitely. And probably Miller more than Hyman.
Miller more than Hyman. That's the one I was looking at, yeah.
Yeah, right. I'm thinking Edmonton's game plan. Listen, they could all have game plans, as Mike Tyson would say, right? Great quote. They could all have game plans until I hit him in the face one time.
Right.
He was a buffoon, but he was actually pretty funny, Mike Tyson. So anyway, the game plan, I would think, for Edmonton, right? We got to pepper this third-string goaltender. We got to throw everything but the kitchen sink at this dude. And if he stops him, tip your cap. But I don't think they're going to be fans. Like, some teams need the perfect scoring opportunity before they shoot. And you hear guys say it all the time, just put the puck on the net. Put the puck on the net. So I'm pretty sure Hyman will get his 3. But JT Miller getting 3 would be the concern.
Yeah, that's the one. When I looked at it and I said, all right, that's the one we got to worry about. Mike Tyson used to work out at the place I worked at all the time. So, yeah, so I would be I'd be very cautious about saying anything bad about Mike because Mike's getting ready for his fight coming up against one of the Paul brothers. And Mike is still in tremendous shape. And, Mike and I are tight as far as like just waving at him and saying hello. So, yeah, you can call him whatever you want. I'm just letting you know, Mike, if you're watching the show, that's Scott Wetzel. He's at Opposite Picks. I got nothing to do with it. I didn't say that. And I hope you beat the crap out of that guy in your next fight.
Jake
he was
Paul,
funny. Yeah. He
love pigeons there, Mike.
Knew,
love your pigeons. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah. And everybody does have a plan until they get punched in the face, including this same game parlay. The total could go under 2. That's the other one. If we get the game with the goalies, right, where Vancouver gets a lead, they may sit on it. That's the concern, right? They get a lead. Right. You watch the way they play. They won a game against Nashville with 12 shots on goal. So they may play puck possession, play it safe, and get, if they get a lead. Now, if Edmonton gets a lead, I don't think the total will be a question. I think we'll see more of a game like we did last night, really in both games, but in the Western Conference for sure, where it was wide open. As soon as Dallas got that 3-goal lead, it was a different game. Everybody had to play wide open, skating all over the place, shoot the pucks at the net, go for rebounds, try to draw penalties, all that stuff. I think that's the way this one will go.
Yeah. I kind of went against the grain in that if you bet it, you really should go Edmonton in the over or Vancouver in the under. That would make sense. But
yes,
when does gambling ever make sense? So we can't. No. We're kind of contrarian on that one. So more coming up.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan for another hour and a half or so, looking at the action, baseball, hockey, NBA playoffs. So with that, let us bring in our first guest of the evening, Eric Lindquist from Stochastic.com, OddShopper.com as well. You see him from time to time here on the grid. We've had him on before. Appreciate him spending some time with us again tonight. Eric, what's going on? Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, how are you tonight?
Just getting going here in the association. Hopefully Dante DiVincenzo can start scoring some points. That'd be useful. But just saw Indy went on a crazy run, tracking this one live with everybody else. So yeah, just getting going here.
Pre-game, Eric, how'd you feel about this one? Because the Knicks won, didn't cover. The line came down a little bit, and the total, the first game was a complete over-adjustment down. This one was over-adjusted up for game two, and the Knicks are an over machine. I mean, they're 17-3 in their last 20, 9-1 at home. This one seemed like an auto play for a lot of people. Just bet the game over and lay it with the Knicks. How'd you feel before the game started?
Yeah, I'll be honest. Game one, I was very, very much on that 217.5, 218 train. I thought Indy, they were definitely going to bring the pace in a way that wasn't necessarily reflected in the line. It moved to 220, somehow got shied away this time around. That's a bummer as this game goes to 32-31 here with a couple of seconds left in this first quarter. But definitely would have been leaning towards that over, but didn't end up having a play on it.
How about now, Eric? 234. Wow, I think I just put it in a moment ago at 225 before you came on. They had a flurry to finish the first quarter. I actually thought, call me crazy, but the number adjusted so much that I thought, I could see Tim saying, I know we won game one, but we don't want to get into a run and gun affair with this club. And maybe play the under a little bit, but that clearly looks like this game is going to fly by. Would you go over 234.5, or is that too pricey?
That's pretty hefty here. I mean, there's a couple of different things. One, both teams shot pretty darn well, over 50% from the field. You had the Knicks shoot over 40% from three. It looked pretty good there in that game one. I thought there's no way that they can be this efficient coming out. And sure enough, guns blazing here. And with no Mitchell Robinson, even as just an insurance policy, you're going to go from Isaiah Hartenstein. He picked up a foul already in that first rotation. You need to kind of protect him a little bit more. And if you throw Precious Achiuwa out there for more minutes, that becomes a little bit more run and gun, not necessarily super small ball, but definitely plays into Indy's hands a little bit more. But 36-33 here at the end of the first. This game is definitely moving. Hard for me to pull the trigger. I just threw everything in here at 234. It's looking pretty efficient there. I'd actually be leaning a hair towards the under there, but my goodness, it is just moving.
All right. We got to discuss it now. It's, as a Minnesota guy who during the break, we learned that you're not a hockey guy, but you're a basketball guy. And now the world knows about the Minnesota Timberwolves. They go to Denver, win both games. They're going home up 2-0. Is there any chance that the Nuggets can actually come back and win this series? Or are we punching our ticket to the Western Conference Finals? T-Wolves fans.
Do you know what it's like being a Minnesota sports fan? Do you have any? You don't know. I'm usually well-spoken. No. I normally don't have this timbre to my voice, but there's something different happening with this Minnesota Timberwolves team that I can't really describe. Haven't felt this since my dad was describing Kirby Puckett, Kent Herbeck. I apparently grew up, in the early 90s where, a lot of that was going down. But I was at the 87 World Series as a 1-month-old baby because my parents wouldn't miss it. I was there as a 4-year-old because they wouldn't miss it.
Nice.
If they get to the NBA Finals, I'm not missing a game. I will be home the entire time. You can tune in from there. I will be here for the Western Conference Finals. I'll be heading there. It is just a different basketball team. First in adjusted defensive rating. And the stuff that Naz Reid did in the absence of Rudy Gobert in Game 2, I haven't seen that from Naz Reid all season, but he's an electric player. He wins sixth man for a reason, but defensively, I didn't know he had that dog in him. And I know Jamal Murray is labored. I know that he doesn't look entirely right, but I wouldn't either if I was being hounded by McDaniels and Nickeil Alexander-Walker for 38 minutes. It wouldn't be a whole lot of fun. So I think we're getting close to punching that ticket.
They got a bet on FanDuel, Eric. Dave and I talked about it last night. Will Minnesota sweep? Not just win, but sweep as the Panthers tie up the Bruins, unfortunately. Or fortunately, who knows. But anyway, the bet on Minnesota to sweep is even money. You could bet Denver plus 3.5 games, so in essence, win one game in the series at only minus 140. I mean, take your fandom out of this. I mean, are you betting Minnesota to sweep, or are you betting Denver to win at least one game?
I think it's just got to be a game-by-game basis. You have to keep in mind that this is still the defending champs, and Minnesota, they basically have played flawless basketball for 6 consecutive games. Now, the world is talking. The world's abuzz. Can they keep the blinders on? I really, really hope so. But my fandom aside, it's definitely Nikola Jokic who wins MVP today. He's the best player in the entire association over the last 3-4 seasons, without any doubt in my mind. They have him there, but Jamal Murray, if he's not right, this is probably just a stay away play here as well. I would lean, if you have to be firing that one up, I do lean on the side that we do sweep, but again, it is so hard to pull the trigger on that here in that direction. I mean, what's the number on that for the plus 3.5? You said for the Nugget side?
Yeah, minus 140.
Yeah,
that's pretty hefty.
Pretty tempting.
That's pretty hefty number to be laying there. It's tempting. Only got to win one game. I know you could also just bet them pretty sizable money line dog here in Game 3, and if you're right, you get paid off a little bit more on that side of it. But it just feels like I probably would be going money line. If you get Minnesota to win by 10-15, imagine the price you're getting on that money line with a Jokic-backed team in Game 4. So I think that's probably the best way to look at it, thinking through it.
Yeah, I got a note here that 6 teams have come back from an 0-2 deficit in NBA history. So we're looking at an odds adjustment. The T-Wolves are now the second choice. And to win the NBA championship, okay, to win not just the Western Conference, to win the NBA championship, let's just advance the ball down the court a second and say this actually happens for the T-Wolves and they get in the Western Conference Finals. Who, as a fan or as a guy in the business, is a better matchup for the T-Wolves in the Western Conference Finals, sir?
Has to be Oklahoma City. Definitely does. I think Oklahoma City, even though we would be losing up that home court, going to, we would be hosting Dallas in a Game 1. We're going on the road to Oklahoma City. As good as they have looked here throughout this entire playoffs, they're still very young. The youngest entire team to be a 1 seed in, I believe, 30-plus years. It's really hard with that lack of experience to really go up against a Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley. I'm going to call them basically the leaders there. They have all of that playoff experience, taking Cat and Ant along for the ride here. They did face Denver, got a little bit of playoff testing last season, but this is the first go around for Chet. It's basically the second go around since the bubble for SGA when he played alongside Dennis Schroeder, alongside Chris Paul. So for me, I think it's a better matchup going up against OKC, as controversial as that might be.
All right, better favorite tomorrow night. Real quickly, Boston laying 13.5 for OKC, laying 5.
5-1 against the spread. The Boston Celtics keep it rolling, 13.5. They missed out on a Donovan Mitchell game 1. Give me Boston all day.
Cleveland going to win any game in that series?
No, absolutely not.
No, huh?
One match.
Wow, sweep.
Nope.
All right.
Yeah.
Who's got a better
Sweep it.
chance of
Grab the
winning?
broom.
Denver one game or Cleveland one game? That's a good one.
That's a really good one. Now I want to see the line on that one. What number did you have in mind? Is this even money both sides of it?
Yeah, I think pick 'em. Right?
Okay.
Pick 'em.
All right, in a
to
pick-up
3.
situation, I suppose I'll take the 3 remaining on Cleveland as opposed to the 2 remaining for Denver, but that's a pretty tight number, I think. I like that. I'll think that one through a little bit more. Throw it up, FanDuel.
Good job, Eric. Appreciate it, buddy. Good
Thanks,
to go.
guys.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Drysdale could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Thanks again to Eric Lindquist for joining us as we go over some of the things that are happening in the world of sports. Got Wetzel, Dave, Sharapan. So they are in the second quarter, 40-40. Wow, is the score. The points are coming. Over-under's up to 237.5. And now 44-40, Pacers by 4. Line is basically pick 'em, Dave. 9 minutes and 33 seconds left to go into second quarter, and they got 84 points. I mean, this thing is sailing by the number. I like I said, I thought maybe we wouldn't have that many points, but clearly we're getting them tonight.
The book's got everybody so far with the total. They put that total last night, 221, 222, and everybody bet under. Thing woke up this morning. It was that back down to 219 and went as low as 217.5. They got everybody. I mean, it's just one of those ones where I don't know what the adjustment was going to be. from game to game that made it, now it's only 4 points, but it's going to be an under game. So far, it's not even close to being an under game. To finish what Eric was talking about, can you think of a more tortured fan base than the Minnesota fan base? Like, seriously, it's been a long, long time. The Vikings never won a Super Bowl. The Minnesota North Stars, nope. Minnesota Wild, nope. Minnesota Timberwolves, nope. Talking about being a little kid, the baby, the last time they won a championship, the Twins, in the early 90s. Man.
And Dallas wins, right? And their franchise moves to Dallas in hockey, and they win a Stanley Cup. So they don't get the
gut punch.
That's the low blow of it all. Yeah. You
was.
do have the Twins, the Puckett Twins beating the Braves.
The Braves.
That was the one.
Yeah.
But that's a long time ago.
Long
People
time ago.
think Buffalo Bills, but
choice.
Minnesota Vikings in football is pretty bad too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have every sport, though. Even though they lost the team, but they got it back. They got every sport. Buffalo got the Bills. I mean, it's not like – and the Sabres. I didn't mean to dismiss the Sabres, but it's been a long time for them. So, not too many fan bases as tortured as Minnesota. So, Eric has a point, and it's fun to see people that are fans of their teams, and that there's nothing like that first run. There is nothing like that first championship especially when you're a kid and you remember all the. I went to when the Penguins finally won a Stanley Cup. We went to every parade. We went to every celebration. Hell, my brother and his friends, everybody went out to the airport to greet the Penguins when they came off the plane. That was a big deal. So if the T-Wolves could get this done, do you think they're going to get this done? I mean, is this a wrap? It's going to be hard.
I know. And there's got to be something wrong with Denver, Dave. For them, you lose game one. Okay, that happens, whatever. To not only lose game two, but to lose just getting demolished from start to finish and really like almost a must-win situation. I don't, there's got to be something going on with this Denver team. I know there's some injuries and stuff, but I will say this. NBA didn't do the teacups any favors, right? Having 3 days off. If you're Minnesota, you want to get back out there and play. Let's go, boys, right? I still don't know why they're not playing tonight. There's only one game. They didn't play last night. They played 2 nights ago. I know they got to travel from Denver to Minnesota, but, they're not flying Southwest Airlines here. I mean, it's a half-hour flight, for goodness sakes. Get some super jet, and you're back home already. And they're not playing until Friday. They're not even playing tomorrow. 3 days off. So whatever ailment Denver has, this is like the perfect scenario for them. Let's just, we got to figure out what went wrong, what's going on. Who's upset about what? Who's doing this with the other person's girlfriend or something? Who knows? But get it. They got 3 days to let Minnesota think that they're the greatest things in the world, and then we'll go beat them in Game 3. I think Denver wins Game 3.
Well, we'll find out as we go forward. Would you have any interest in the series price? I mean, you saw the series price before it started. It's drastically adjusted. You're talking about Eric made a good point. Just take them on the money line to win Game 3. If you win that, you get paid immediately rather than taking that, 3.5 series price and laying juice. It's not a bad move if you think they're going to win. I think it's a no-brainer, though, with the number what it is. Minnesota is about 4.5. Some places where you shop, it might be 5. I think it's Denver money line or Minnesota minus the points. I don't see a need to even get involved in the point spread at all.
Right.
I think Denver wins a game or they don't cover the spread, and you can start making plans for Minnesota to be in the Western Conference Finals. I found it interesting. He said he'd rather play OKC. You agree with that?
No. Yeah, I wouldn't want to face OKC.
I don't think so.
They're a machine. You talk about lack of respect for everybody outside of Dallas and Denver in the Western Conference, right? I mean, man, they're unbelievable. They're undefeated. 5-0 this postseason. I think Dallas will win Game 2, but after watching Game 1, I love that zigzag system, but it wouldn't shock me. He is right about the Denver thing, right? Rather than, if you're a $100 player, for example, Dave, right? So you want to win $100, and rather than risking 140 to win 100 on Denver winning the next 2 games, one of them, take half of that, $70, bet it on Denver at plus 160. Nice fat price there. If they lose, take the other 70 that you were willing to risk, put it on Denver game 4. If they're plus 160 now, I bet they're close to plus 180, 185, 90 to lose game 4, and you're kind of winning the bet without having to risk the 140 or, getting more money, plus 160 versus minus the change.
Right. Yeah, and again, it'll be one of those things that you go, depending on how the game goes, there'll be an adjustment. I did it myself during the break. I had it around what you said, around 180 as the money line. So you're thinking right. If Minnesota wins, you get a much higher price than what you're getting now. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's only Wednesday. We got games we got to talk about and stuff now. There'll be much time to think about this by Friday. I don't even know what else. It's 1-1. We didn't even get the goal horn. The boys got the goal horn ready. It's tied up. Hit it.
There you go. Love it when we come back.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Hour number 1 of our 2-hour extravaganza. We got postseason hockey. Florida did score during the break. You just heard the horn before we went to break. And they did score. Yep. Barkov getting a goal, so they now lead Boston 2-1. We'll update those lines in a bit. And then we got the Pacers by 4. I got a 54-50. With a so good 4 or 5 minutes, believe it or not, 5 minutes left in the second quarter. So that's on a monster pace. We'll update those numbers in a sec. But first up, a little black cloud action. All right, we got the same game parlay with Edmonton, Vancouver, so we won't go there. We'll go baseball for our Black Cloud because the other game's kind of a toss-up anyway. This one is not a toss-up. San Francisco at Colorado. Giants are minus 184. Not too many times I'd lay minus 184 with the Giants this year. Excuse me, I don't think they're going to be a very good team, but this will be one of them. The Rockies, it's more an anti-Rocky play than anything else. But San Fran is 9-4 against Colorado, going back to last season, obviously. Rockies are 8-27 on the season. 8-27, including only 5-11 at home, and they've lost 8 of their last 9 as well. I mean, they are just, they're battling Miami for being the worst team in baseball, the White Sox as well, even though the White Sox have actually turned it around of late. But that said, give me San Fran. I don't know how they lose this baseball game, minus the 184, Dave.
Listen, sometimes the bad teams win games. Right now, the White Sox, you just mentioned, are actually leading the Rays. Got a buddy watching the show, Palmetto Yinzer. He's on the Rays. So he just sent me a text and said, tell Wetzel we need the Black Cloud play of the night. He might double up. He might do what you do with this Black Cloud and say, yeah, I'm going to go in on the Giants. The game's just getting underway. It's just flipped to the top of the second inning. So if you're going to grab the Giants, do it now. Makes perfect sense. And listen, the Black Cloud's been hot. The last couple of Black Clouds have won. No sweats.
Yeah.
No, easy, comfortable. One of those things that's like, if you're watching the show, did you see people tweeting at us yesterday? They were tagging us both, opposite picks. They love the show. They love the insight. They love the Black Cloud. You got to give the people what they want, Scott, and that's what we're doing. So,
yeah,
I'm with you. I think the Giants win.
Yeah. We hit with the Dodgers last couple of nights. I wish the Dodgers were playing tonight and not this afternoon, but, what are you going to do?
We already won with the Dodgers. Let it go.
Yeah.
It's good.
But
yeah.
I know. Why can't they play Miami every game? Now we'd be talking. Right now, I'm sure the boys in Vegas wouldn't like that, but the bettors would. Can we petition for that? Dodgers versus Miami, 25-game yearly series.
That's enough. They play them 6 times. That's more than enough. We don't need any more Dodgers-Marlins series. Nothing personal. They get to go to San Diego this weekend, and they get to go to San Francisco after that. We'll see what the Dodgers are made of. 6 division games, all on the road. They play 3 first in San Diego, then 3 in San Francisco. Wetzel, how many games did the Dodgers win on that 6-game road trip right now? Just thinking it out. We don't know the pitching matchups yet, but it doesn't really matter who pitches for the Dodgers. What do you think? 3-3, 4-2, 5-1.
4-2. 4-2.
4-2.
I don't think they'll go 5-1 on the road. 4-2. They're pretty solid for it. The way they're playing, a little 4-2 action. So they're gonna have these great runs, right? They're gonna go through some streaks with the secondary pitching that won't be good, but then the bats are gonna take care of things, and then they're gonna get their starting pitching. So
we're gonna need Vinny
the Dodgers,
and Matty to remember this when we do the show on Tuesday to see where we stand, because they'll have 4 games in.
Right.
Then we do the show Tuesday, and we'll know when we show up here next Tuesday to do InGame Live, you and I think the Dodgers will be 3-1 when they show up next Tuesday in San Francisco. So that's my prediction. A little bit, couple days ahead, but let's have some fun with that.
Yeah, why not? Why not? Do you like anything today, baseball-wise?
I'm wearing the Yankee stuff. How many times can you do it?
What do you think?
It was the Yankees. It was Yankees. That was the only play that I looked at right now, of the games that are going on right now. Atlanta and the Red Sox under. We were on that yesterday, came back with that again today. That one might end up being a sweat. And the Orioles look like they're actually going to beat the Nationals. They couldn't score any runs yesterday with Burns on the hill. They're ahead of the Nationals tonight. But that's it. It's all about the hot.
Chris Sale shutting out his former team, the Red Sox, so far tonight.
gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back. It is In-Game Live, Primetime, hour number 2 of our 2-hour extravaganza. Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan. We got NBA postseason wild game at Madison Square Garden as far as scoring is concerned. We got hockey, we got baseball, we got the Black Clouds in action, we got same-game parlays in action, and we got it all. We got all kind of updates we'll get to with some hockey props as well. So, Dave, we'll start with you as far as hockey, 2-1 Florida. As they play in the second period, they're on the power play, but I think the Bruins are about to kill that off. Numbers updated coming in, Florida, about a 165 or so favorite, right? 155, 165 in that area. Pretty decent side favorite. Minus 460 right now. Boy, I tell you, the Bruins plus 320 down only a goal in the second period. Looks pretty good to me. Even at over 5.5 at plus 104. But your thoughts on this first hockey game tonight?
The Bruins better stay out of the penalty box. I can tell you that right now. The Panthers' power play, moving the puck great, multiple opportunities, putting a lot of pressure on Swayman to be the best penalty killer, and your goalie always has to be the best penalty killer. I still feel like this game's going over. The in-game number's 5.5. I think that's a little bit light. Obviously, if the Bruins get the next goal, there will automatically be 5 goals. But if it stays with a 1-goal deficit, Bruins will probably pull the goalie, and we might get multiple empty netters. So leaning over, liked over before. Although pre-game, the way this game's going, I could see the case for the under, right? Like this had to be Bobrovsky's best game of the entire playoffs. I mean, he had to, the challenge is on him to, get Florida. If they get 3, that better be enough. And the final score could end up being 3-1 or 3-2. So good hockey game so far. This has been really good. They're showing previews for the Oilers and Canucks. We got a great game there. I don't know if you're even aware. We just did the Black Cloud, right? The Giants already scored multiple runs. I mean, it was just
really?
They're already up 2-0 in the second. Perfect.
How about that?
Perfect.
How about that? So for your buddy that bet the Tampa Bay Devil Dogs, as I did today, I tell you what, if Dopey Tampa Bay doesn't make the playoffs, they're going to go back to their series against the god-awful White Sox. Remember, they got swept by the White Sox last week. Swept when Chicago was playing horrible. And now they're in the process of splitting the first 2 games. I think it's a 3-game series here. I mean, you can't go 1-4 against probably the worst team in the American League. You just can't do it. So let me go back to the hockey for a second, because this is a good question. I brought it up in the break. And I don't really know what to do. But let's just say the Bruins lose tonight, 4-1. Florida gets another goal, 4-2, and maybe an empty net or something like that, right? Do you go back to Ullmark? Do you bring him back into the equation? Or do you stick with Swayman? if you're a Bruins fan? Goaltenders.
I think Montgomery can answer that question best. I think fans will be all right with either decision. I think he opens up the door to getting question marks and second guessed. If he switches, how can you switch Swayman? I mean, if they lose tonight 2-1, if he gives up a bunch of multiple goals, it might be time to sit him down and take a rest. I mean, Allmark is as good. They're equal, but Swayman's the hot hand right now. That's a very precarious thing. Coaches have a tough time in the playoffs in these runs, but I mean, a lot of the Penguin playoff runs, the backup goalie had to play. Saw it here in Vegas. Multiple
Aiden
goalies
Hill,
had
yeah.
to play. Logan Thompson, Aiden Hill. It happens. So I don't think it's the worst thing in the world if he switched. Would you switch him?
Boy, I don't know. I think I would. I think I'd give Allmark one. And I'm not a big Allmark fan. I'm really not. But the guy is an Vezina Trophy winner, so
yeah,
it's not like you're going to Peter Pan back there. I think I would. If he gave up 3, just if anything else, where I don't want to alienate Allmark and just this is their chance. Like if they don't go into him now, they never will. So yeah, I think I would. I honestly, I think I would. But if he screws up and they lose and they're down 2-1, that's it. You're done. You got to win.
Right.
One of those.
Yeah,
things.
that's
so.
I think as long as everybody's in agreement, both in the locker room, both goalies understand what you're doing. Again, they've earned that level of trust. They did win the President's Trophy last year. They were really successful doing it. So I think it would be one of those ones that would be like not shocking. And if everybody's okay with it, let's play. I don't think the players would matter too much. If you clear it up in practice. I'm looking at this InGame right now. You got this on my mind now because my buddy John, who's watching, he's like, please get me another run at least with the Rays. +2.5, +220. If you get the bat, you get the hit in the bottom of the 8th. And the bottom of the 9th. I mean, there's 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th. Can they at least score a run? You're getting nice odds. +2.5, +220.
Well, he's throwing bad money on top of bad money, huh? God bless him.
Maybe.
Why don't you just bet the Astros while you're at it, down 8-2?
No. He saw the Yankees stuff. No Astros stuff. Kept them off. Yeah.
All right. It's locked now, so whatever he's got, he's got. I don't think they're going to offer you a run line anymore, bottom of the 8th inning. You would think, right? I mean, you can't. If you're Tampa Bay, I mean, you can't get swept by the White Sox and then face them a week later and lose again to them. I mean,
it can happen.
Maybe the Devil Dogs are back to being the Devil Dogs. I kind of swore them off after last week. And then, all right, now they played the White Sox again. I figured, all right, you know what? I can't swear them off. They're going to get revenge. They won easily last night, but tonight it's going to ruin a couple of parlays for me, too. Tell your buddy John he's not alone. 6-0 Giants. Oh, man. Hopefully he was listening to us, so whenever he lost, he's going to gain back. Oh, this Rockies team stinks. Woo. Oh, my goodness. They are bad. Woo.
Well, that was good.
Who do they got coming up next?
That's good to know.
Yeah.
What about it's halftime of the Knicks and Pacers, and the boys in our ear have gotten very quiet. Everything's very quiet back there at home base. 73-63, the Pacers lead at halftime.
Wow.
I mean, is it done? I mean, it
5.5.
The in-game number 6.5 on the Pacers. They were getting 5 before the game. Hello.
Yeah. I'm grabbing the Knicks money line +240.
To come back and win the game?
Well, to make a run, right? I mean, they were the favorites going in. Now they're down 10. You're getting a big fat number. So what would it take for that number to go to pick them? Knicks trail by 4, since they were a 4-point favorite, basically, 4-5. Knicks 3. They're going to make a run somewhere to cut it to 3-4 points, right? You'll be able to hedge.
You would, but I mean, take the 6.5. You get 6.5 with the Knicks.
No, so you're thinking long term. I'm thinking hedge term. You got to
Just
cover
take
your 6.5. All I got to do is have the Knicks make a run. I got the entire game. You need the end result.
Well, no, you take 6.5. That's the in-game number. That's not the halftime numbers. You get 6.5 on one side. You already got the Pacers plus 4.5. The game falls with an 11-point middle. You're looking pretty good. That's a good starting point. And then if it goes down, you can adjust. Maybe sprinkle a couple shekels on the money line. You got options, son.
You do, but if you got the Pacers plus the 4.5, and now you got the Knicks on a money line, I mean, you can win either way. But again, 2 kids in college versus 1. I'm gonna win the plus 240 versus the 6, plus 6.5 even money. That's again. Talk to me next year. You'll be thinking money lines. So
true.
Yeah. I'm grabbing Knicks plus 240 right now. I personally guarantee you'll be able to hedge.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Drysdale could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid with some interesting news. We got double news. We got news from the NBA. We got news from the hockey world as well. So, there you go. Yes, it is the Titanic for the Bruins. They let up a goal with 1 second left in the second period.
0.3.
And Florida now leads 3-1. That's a killer, Dave.
Yeah,
that's a killer.
0.3 seconds left, right before the end of the second period. Yeah, Swayman didn't see it. Screenshot 3-1, Florida. That number is absurd. Now, that's crazy. Does Swayman come out for the third period? Does Swayman come out for the third period? Do you make a change right now? Say, hey, Linus, get in there. Boys, go get Linus.
Can't do that.
Come on. No?
Can't do that. The only way you do that is if you want to bring Swayman back for game 3.
Right.
And you think, all right, we're just, you know what, it's not your night, but we're going to bring you back for game 3 versus Olmark doing well and saying, okay, you're going to, you know, kind of, try and play your way into game 3. I don't think so. I don't really, I'd be surprised. I really would. But I think now it's like my scenario, you know, if you lose 4-2, empty netter maybe you give up another goal in the third because your defense is going to be pinching in, you know. That's going to be an interesting decision. That will be the talk after this game. Who's in goal for Boston? That will definitely. News from the NBA. Jalen Brunson, the heart and soul of the New York Knicks, hurt his foot. So no word if he's going to be able to come back and play second half. I would be very disappointed. I saw the play. He was just kind of like going to his right, and I think he just stepped on the defender's foot, and his ankle must have twisted the wrong way. But, I mean, this is Game 2, Eastern Conference semifinals. You know, you got to, you know, unless his ankle is broke, you got to play, right? But that's one of the reasons why the Knicks, I mean, listen, they're down 10, so I don't know what the line would be anyway. Probably pretty similar, but now all of a sudden the Knicks plus the 5.5, 6, and the Knicks on money line plus 240. I got it, so I'm hoping they start the second half a little bit of a run, and I'll bail pretty quickly on that bet. But they're not winning without Brunson. I'll tell you that. I mean,
yeah. Listen, if they win without Brunson, that sets them up really nicely for this series. This is the Pacers. Listen, you smell that blood in the water, right? You got to go. This is the game.
Yeah.
Now, he's questionable return, you know, foot on the gas. We're going 180 through the desert. We're pushing. We're going. They got a short bench to begin with. All them points that Brunson scored, all those points and minutes that he played and everything. This is I don't want to say this is one of those ones where, like, you know, you leave the reliever out there if you're in a baseball game.
Right.
But this one might be one of those pack it in, boys. Let's get ready for Indiana if this gets away quick, right? Let's get some bench, some minutes. Let's get some starters, some rest, and we'll come back when Brunson's good to go. I don't know. This is one of those situations when you're like in the book and you're trying to figure out what to make the halftime number, or is he coming back out? How's this going to affect the betting? Who's betting the Knicks right now other than Scott Wetzel? Seriously.
Yeah,
there's no one betting the Knicks right now, right?
Yeah. Brunson only played 8 minutes. I thought it happened late in the second quarter, but apparently not. He only has 5 points. Knicks have 63 points at halftime. That's pretty darn good, I will say. He played 8 minutes, scored only 5 of those 63 points. But are you going to get another 22 from Anunoby? I doubt it. That's what he had first half. Our boy Josh Hart, 0 for 0 from three-point land, boys. That 1.5 3 prop, not looking nearly as good as it did before the game started.
Well, he's probably going to take 10. A couple, right? He's probably going to take a couple now if this continues. So not out of the woods yet. Not blown out of the water. So let's try to get the producer's pick in. So, yeah, this is playoffs. Playoffs, it can change so quickly. I'm already thinking if Brunson's hurt, where he's not going to play the rest of this game and his questionable status for the next game, how do we adjust the series price? How do we adjust the conference odds? How do we adjust the win it all odds? Because legitimately, they were the second choice in the East, right? I think that was kind of consensus behind Boston. We were talking about city championships. Which city had the best chance to win an NBA and an NHL championship? I mean, believe it or not, it's never happened. I found that out today on BVB. And I don't know if the world's ready for Boston, New York, but we got Boston, Celtics and Bruins, Rangers and Knicks, Stars and Mavs, or Avs and Nuggets. Obviously, which one is? I think it's an easy choice, Wetzel. Which one has the best chance to win it?
Bruins and Celtics for sure. That's where I would go.
I mean, I don't think it's a question because I think the Celtics.
I forgot about Colorado. You're right. Colorado and
right?
yeah, you got that too. I mentioned Dallas, but I forgot about Colorado. Yeah. I don't know. Where were you going to go? Boston Bruins, or which one do you think?
Well, I don't think any of them are going to happen. Let's full disclosure. I don't think any of them are going to happen. They're in order right there from most likely to least likely, in my opinion. All right.
Yeah.
Celtics look like the team that are going to be in a minimum conference finals, if not the championship. The Bruins, I mean, in the first period, we were ready to put them in the Eastern Conference Finals. I think the Rangers got a better shot than the Knicks, and I think the Stars got a better shot than the Mavericks, and I think the Avs got a better shot than the Nuggets. The hard part of that equation is the NBA. Any one of those teams can win the NHL, can win the Stanley Cup, as of right now.
Right. I think Denver would have been the one before the series began with Nuggets and Teacups.
100%.
But now,
100%.
Now, not the case.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back to InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Good news for those that follow us. Brunson is back on the court. Now, he's hobbling and he's got tape on his shooting hands. This guy is banged up as anybody, but at least he's on the court giving it the old college try. So any kind of luck, the Knicks can hit a couple of buckets here, and then we'll bail out of our plus 240 bet as fast can be. It is down to minus 290 as the Knicks have cut the lead. Well, it's still 10. That's okay. How about the over-under on that one, Dave? 245.5. I mean, are we going to get a crazy? That's only like 110 points second half, but
yeah,
they can't possibly have 136 points like they had in the first half, right? Is that too high of a number?
Think so.
Can we go under?
I don't know. I think we can wait a little bit. Around 250 might be the buy signal to go under, right? I think you can kind of wait, see how much higher that goes.
Right.
Because the Knicks are going to press, right, to come back. Right. So, yeah, it's going up. I don't think you're at the top yet. Yeah, there was a lot of steam on that under pregame, and Matt was on BVB today, and he had played over 222. The worst number on the planet is what he played overnight. And I like to tell him, he said, I feel good about it. I got the worst number and I got the wrong way. I got over. Everybody's on under. Sometimes those ones work out okay. You don't always need that CLV, that closing line value. Sometimes it's very important to get the best number, but sometimes bad numbers win too. So if you're sitting at that, no, it's going to go over 250. Get over 250, Scott, and then you can play under. Go for your nice middle.
Yeah.
For the kids, for the college.
That would be real nice. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't take the sure winner, risk it all, and bet the under, and then go for that middle. Why not? So now the Knicks are – here come the Knickerbockers. What did we say? We grabbed them plus 240. Pacers are now minus 170. All right? I guarantee the hedge opportunity. There it is right now. If you want to bet Indiana minus the 170, now it's down to 150. So I came through on the guarantee. S&W Corporation won't be sued. We're good.
That's it.
There's
perfect. Good work. That's good. This is, again, the consulting fees are just the billing for the consulting fee. Just put it on the invoice because they got to send it to you. S&W Corporation, address it, and it'll get there. Well, do you feel better now about the Knicks winning the game with this little run? Do you feel like this is? Do you have to expend all the energy to not? I mean, there's so much time left. The Knicks could win this game and cover the original number.
Oh yeah, they would. They could have covered the original number in Game 1 if Indiana would have fouled the guy after they threw the ball away with 6 seconds left. Talk about a bad beat that would have been. You're up 1 with like 30 seconds left or whatever it was. And you end up losing by 6 to not cover the 5.5. So that would have been something. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a long, long ways. Everyone makes runs. That's why I knew there'd be a Nick run in here. I didn't know about the Brunson injury. But as it turned out, ignorance is bliss. So I like the Knicks.
That's what I'm focused on. I'm trying to get
these producers. Producers, he's 0 for 1. Let's make a deal. Producers produce. Host will come up with the picks, okay? Because you're killing my bankroll here.
I didn't say that.
Guy's got one lousy shot from 3. I could take it if the guy's 0 for 8, Dave. He's 0 for 1. He's not even looking for 3s.
Maybe he will. Just relax. I feel like you're putting.
Maybe my wife will cook clean too. Yeah, sure.
Whoa! It's a good thing she does not watch the show. Really,
brother.
The heat level would be risen. Speaking of heat rising, the Nationals tied the Orioles late. It's 3-3 in extra innings. What about the system? We take the Nationals now plus the money, right? Can we do that?
Hold on. Let me go to the board there. See what the baseball.
Oh, they moved it to favorite. Wow. We got an out already. Yeah, we need the Nationals.
Yeah, minus 152. Can't do that. You're right, though. That's the system. You bet the home team when the road team is batting. Hope the road team doesn't score, and now you're sitting on what would be a favorite, Right. And they're in a position then to kind of like bunt the runner over and do things knowing they only got 1 run. So I do like that, but you got to get in early on that. And I see Tampa Bay didn't. They lost 4-1, sadly. Cam Stewart coming up next.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, it's in-game live, prime time here on the grid. Hour number 2, Scott Wetzel, Dave Sharapan, watching all the action. Joined now by our good buddy who takes over top of the hour, along with Gabe Morency, Mr. Cam Stewart, who's got a fistful of golf winners and no doubt some hockey winners and everything else as well. What's going on, Cam? How are you tonight, bud?
I don't know, Scott. I'll tell you, that goal with 0.3 seconds left for those under players wasn't a real treat. Like, are you kidding me? My girlfriend just went bananas. She just went upstairs. She goes, "Are you telling me?" Like she thinks like she's like part of the problem with the curse here. Like she's going upstairs. She's like, "I'm done with this crap." I go, "Yeah. You didn't see last night how we lost both games in overtime, eh, baby? So what's the deal?" Yeah. Anyway, we got it's not over yet, but everybody going wild here, Dave. Yeah, Dave. It's my second time on the show today. Don't have to wear Bruins gear. That's nice.
I was telling the
I
guys
understand you. We'll see you later on tonight on BBB with the little Boston Bruins stuff. I understand.
Yeah, why not? We'll make it a regular appearance. That's what I'll do. I'm wearing Celtics gear the other day. I'll come in with whatever you need. 4-1. Florida just scored again. This total doesn't look good. Right side, wrong total.
Yeah.
I guess you guys were coming back, Dave. Swayman, it's not obviously he's the reason they're in this game, but Florida just woke up when Boston scored that first goal. They flicked the switch and said, "Enough is enough here. Like we can't go down 0-2 and head back to Boston." They're playing like the Florida Panthers.
The Florida power play woke them up too. They controlled the puck, they moved around, they got a goal, and then it just kind of snowballed. You know the way these things go on the road. Before we get to the golf, Cam, got to ask you.
Yeah,
the Canadian series that everybody's looking forward to is finally starting tonight. You got Edmonton at Vancouver. That's Gabe's team. Your team is out. But this is going to be a hell of a series, I think. And there's a lot of people that are kind of just advancing Edmonton to the Western Conference Finals, dismissing Vancouver. We talked a little bit earlier. What do you think about the game tonight?
I tell you, Dave, what I've realized in these game ones, even though, and these guys are familiar with each other, I like the over. I don't know if we're going to have 4 straight games going over because last night we had Dallas with the over. I was good with the totals. This one I like the under and one more goal and we're done. But I like that total of 6. I think Edmonton can score and I think Vancouver will be able to score on Edmonton. Remember, these two teams have played each other. Like Nashville's a team that can be, inept scoring and LA was really, really bad. So I think 6 is a reasonable number. Even at worst, I think we get a push in this game, like a 4-2 final, like 3-2 with the empty netters a push. But I think we can see it like a 4-3 style hockey game. I think it's going to be close. Lean to the Oilers, but I'm telling you, the Vancouver Canucks, as we talked about being disrespected in the market. But this is the thing that makes no sense. And Gabe brought this up, and it is a very, very good point. Take a look at all the series prices. Like Florida opened up in the series where they like $1.60, and then they opened up in game 1 like -165. Edmonton is -270 in the series, yet they're -130 on the money line tonight. Explain that. Like there's no other
makes sense.
every other thing is correlated.
Hold
but
on.
this is not.
20-second timeout.
What's
Allmark
happening?
just came off the bench.
Yeah.
Allmark just came off the bench.
Bye, total. See ya.
That's dumb.
He gone.
That wasn't his fault. I mean,
no,
what happens game 4 or game 3, Cam? You put Allmark. David and I have talked about this.
No. See, come on. This guy did not even play bad. He's the only reason the Boston Bruins are here. If Allmark played versus the Leafs, do you think these guys win that series? God, no. Jeremy Swayman is one of the best goalies in the league. He's having a rough night in Florida because these guys are peppering him with shots. He's allowed to have a bad game every once in a while. I still think Shesterkin's the best, but right, Dave, you can't go to Allmark. It's Swayman. He's your guy. He's the guy that got you there.
I don't think so. But bringing him in now, if the Bruins come back, right, and tie this game, and that was the spark and blah, 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 I think the obvious answer is you go with Swayman until he doesn't go anymore. I think you ride him out and let him play. This is good. Get him out of there. Don't give up another goal. You don't got to hear those lights come on, see those rats come on the ice and all that other crap. Sit down, Linus, get in there, get some work. Don't let no more goals in. Makes perfect sense.
How do you guys feel about this game before I get to the golf? How do you feel about the Vancouver-Edmonton game? It's absolutely taking over Canada right now. It's like people can't wait. It took till Wednesday. Like people are foaming at the mouth for this game right now. It's crazy.
This is the subject of the same game parlay. Wetzel has, if the boys can pull it up, you can take a quick look at it. Yeah, the same game parlay. He went with, what was it? There it is right there. Vancouver, money line, over the 6.5. Shots on goal, JT Miller, -108. And Zach Hyman, if that one loses, I mean, I'll wear Vancouver stuff. Hyman's getting the shots on goal. But that's where he's at. I also like Vancouver in the game. I like the home team in game 1, and I'm with you with the over.
I'm going to tell you something, Wetzel. I really like that. So that was Hyman to score a goal, or was that Hyman shots?
Shots. 3 shots.
Oh, sorry. 3.5 shots. Okay, I see. Yes. I love
3 or more.
Hyman will get probably 4 or 5, I'm thinking. I really like your play, actually. It would have been nice if you can get a 5.5 with a little bit of juice instead of the 6.5, because now you're asking for 7. But I know you're getting more on the parlay, and I know the way you think, Wetzel. More is better. Like you want a full bag, not like when Wetzel goes in, you know what I mean? He goes all in. Like he wants everything full to the nuts. Like he wants like Santa Claus's sack, like overflowing. There's no half-assed, Dave. He doesn't do half grocery buys. Like, you know what I mean? He is lugging luggage to the max.
I'm not going in a 10 item or less line. You know, no 10 item or less line.
That's not your line, Wetzel. You're at the family line at the Costco. Yeah, exactly. Let's roll. We got golf this week.
Golf bets.
Okay, first of all, shout out to my boy Carver. He hit the Live Tour last week. We're both on this guy. He got 20. I got 18. I like Wyndham Clark. This guy ruined broke my heart one week, Wetzel. Remember with that putt that went around and around and defied gravity and would have made me rich? Oh, yeah, of course, because I'm on it. So just remember, guys, if Wyndham Clark's tied for the lead with the hole left, get out of it because I'm attached to him. Will Zalatoris, I think, is a very dangerous player this week. I got 40. Carver got 55 earlier on in the week. They had a bonus there. This guy plays good on long tracks. Don't let the body fool you. And this course is an absolute killer, guys. 7,400 yards plus. You can't take small ball hitters here. Cameron Young is the perfect type of guy for this course. 30, he's bet down to 28-1. I like that. And I'm going to tell you, Eckroat, what's in your throat? 90-1. That's what's there. Watch out for this guy. Sorry, horrible joke, but I'll tell you the price is nice. This guy, Austin Eckroat, Wessel, watch out for him in matchup bets too. Very, very dangerous player. He hits it a mile. So I'm on Austin Eckroat. Those are the picks right now. Guys, we got some top 5s, 10s, and 20s. Yes, let's do this.
Yeah.
Remember, 70-man field, Dave and Scott. So no cut. Everybody's around. Plus 230, Xander Schauffele. Finished runner-up to Rory last year. I will take him for a top 5 at plus 230. Now the top 10s. This is what we're going to do here. We're going to have a lot of fun with Justin Thomas. He's starting to come into his own. Is he ready to win? Not sure. But a top 10 finish on a long course that plays tough like a major, he's the guy. Plus 240. We're also going to take Tony Finau. Sahith Theegala at plus 250. Stu Dog likes him. Keith Stewart, who's won 3 weeks in a row, friend of SportsGrid now. He likes Tagala. Carver's on Tagala. I like him for a top 10 at plus 250. And we got one more there, guys, for a top 10. Who else do I got there? I think I got, here we go, top 20. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate that. Tony Finau, plus 115 for a top 20. Hideki Matsuyama, he's my guy. I love Hideki, plus 120. And don't let the Austrian flag fool you. Sepp Straka's a Georgia Bulldog, and he hits it a mile. Plus 170 for a top 20. Enjoy the golf. Later on tonight, Brady Cannon will break it down, and Babano will have 40 golf picks in a 70-man tournament. So tune in to Sports Rage.
There you go. How about
you like that one, Gabe?
Right.
Me and Gabe are like, so who aren't you betting this week? He's like, plus 10 of a unit. I'm like, there's 70 guys in the tournament. You got 45 guys. I'm like, I'm taking 4 this week. 4, not 6.
It's good because if you take those guys to finish in the top 10, you don't have to hedge, since you kind of got them anyway. So finishing in the top 10.
Wetzel. So let's win some money this week, Dave. Can the gambling gods be on my side for a change? Just throw me a damn bone. Let's go.
Just once.
End this game 4-1.
Right?
Yeah, please.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
InGame Live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
All right, welcome back InGame Live, PrimeTime here on the grid. Thanks again to Cam Stewart joining us. He'll take over with Gabe Morency. Top of the hour here on the grid over the next 3. So, how things have changed. We didn't touch on the NBA with Cam, but I will tell you now, the NBA, the Knickerbockers have gone from down 10 at the half to now leading 88 to 81. So that plus 240 ticket on one side is now plus 285 on the Pacers on the other side. Brunson did play or is playing the second half. It's rolling. Scoring's come down just a tad. It's over 243 and a half. But nice response by the Knicks. Clearly, Dave.
Clearly. Yes. Listen, good bet's a good bet. Now you can maneuver that. Then the Knicks hold on and win. I haven't watched 1 second of it. I've been waiting for the updates and getting the score updates, and I've been so locked in on the hockey. I'm intrigued now because, a lot of people have under 5.5. They're going to have to sweat this thing out. It's 4-1, 12 minutes to go.
They'll pull the goalie, right?
I don't know. 4-1. You came to Florida.
Yeah.
You've got your split. Do you pull the goalie, or do you just go? I mean, maybe if there's an opportunity, if you're a power play and you got an offensive zone face-off, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it's
That's
a
what
new
I'm
age. You never would have pulled the goalie down 3 in the past, but I guess if you lose by 3 or you lose by 4, some guys have no qualms doing it. But did the Knicks hold on and win? I mean, can we get the Josh Hart? Did he hit a 3 yet? Did Josh Hart hit a 3 yet? That's all I need to know.
No.
Come on.
Not yet. I mean, I'd hate to win my Nick plus 240 bet and basically hand it all back on Josh Stinking Hart getting 2 threes, and he has none. He took another one. Good sign, I guess. He's 0 for 2. I don't know how. Everybody else is hitting their shots. I mean, Anunoby, 4 for 7, for goodness sakes. Brunson's 1 for 1. DiVincenzo's 4 for 7. Tom, Dick, and Harry are 4 for 7. And our boy Hart.
The other play for the producers, this is one of those things, right? They had 2 plays, and they said they wanted the value on the plus 148, but they liked DiVincenzo over 3.5, but it was only minus 110. Sometimes you guys get fooled by the prices. Don't get fooled by the price. It's the number. It's the number. Can you imagine? You're just sitting right now, hanging out, going, yeah, we got a lead. We don't have to sweat this. DiVincenzo, he already's got over 3.5. Instead, we got to sweat this Josh Hart all the way to the end. You better hope the Pacers come back because we need more opportunities for Josh Hart. I don't know, boys.
Do you want a winner or do you want value? That's what I always tell you. I'll give you value. I'll give you 50 to 1. What's the difference? You want value at 50 to 1. If it's a losing ticket, it's a losing ticket, right?
Whoa. Hey.
I laugh at guys who always say, "Oh, it gives me great value." I hate that. I hate out of all gambling phrases, and I mean everybody uses it. I hate that the most. Oh, it's good value. Well, then that means you don't like the pick. You're only picking it because it's plus money. If it was minus money or even or not enough plus money, you wouldn't take it. So that means you don't really like the pick then. So, the smart guys, I think, again, stay away from stuff like that. It's the amateurs that okay, yeah, why not? You want to give me 5 to 1? And listen, I'm as guilty as anyone. I say that a lot as well as far as why I make some picks. I'll take a flyer on it, but not a real bet, not a serious one. Ooh. As I told you, with the horse racing buddy of mine way back when, I love the horse. Yeah. He's 10 to 1. All right, 10 minutes later, I don't love the horse anymore. How come? Because he's 5 to 1. What's the difference? You love the horse or you don't? Well, I don't love it 5 to 1. Well, then you really didn't love the horse then. Not enough value.
You like the horse, right? There's a big difference between the like and the love. When you love it,
right,
you're willing to accept it. Just like everything else, you take a little bit less in the price because you're in love. Sometimes it's not good to be in love in the sports book, but the value thing is very interesting. All these years in the books, I mean, this goes back to the Curacao days in the late 90s for me. Nobody in the book says about the value. Like that's the other side of the counter. And now it's all over the content space. Everybody has their own words. I mean, I say the craziest stuff. I got, rhombuses and parallelograms for the squares and the sharps. And, I got my own sayings too. But the value is in winning a bet. I much prefer the value in winning a bet. So the price, I've seen a lot of really valuable tickets, meaning nice value, great price, lose. You want to win. It's about winning and losing. So keep the value. Get me to the window, like K-Dub likes to say.
Like DiVincenzo would have done. Simple as that.
He already
Simple
did.
As that. He already did, yeah.
That's it.
We rolled that money over. We got like 3 other in-game line bets that we could have been winning on.
Yeah.
We could have been sitting on over 220, 2.5 with that money that we had if we would have played the over way back when.
What's the total right now in that game? What is the total in the game?
248.5. Yeah.
You ready to go for the under? You ready to take your shot? Nice little middle. Huh?
You got 190 points right now. They're expected a 60-point fourth quarter.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
boy.
I can't go under. You know, I can't
do
go
it.
under.
Can't do it.
No.
Won't do it. Can't do it.
No. Down to
Okay.
246 and a half. 8 seconds left. Now they locked it. That's a 57-point fourth quarter. They've been scoring 90 points a quarter here. I mean, all of a sudden they're going to stop, running up and down the court?
Do you have a calculator handy to do all the math, or are you just doing that math in your head like that? Are you good with the numbers like that in your head?
I'm good with the numbers like that. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a savant when it comes to anything 100 or less. I'm pretty good at. Not pretty good with numbers like that.
This is good to know. I mean, we do the shows together a few times a week. This is I'm learning something all the time. Tell Matt that all the time. I learned something new. He's not good with the numbers. You good with the numbers. I like that.
Yeah. For whatever reason, that's one thing.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the map. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
I was just checking here. No such luck. Thought maybe FanDuel would offer us a little cash buyout with Josh Hart's over 1.5, but not the case. Not the case.
Why?
No such luck.
Why?
All right.
Let it go.
Why is
Let
that
it
zero?
go.
I know.
No.
Why would they even? Why now?
Let it go.
Give
They
me
don't
anything.
need
10%. So
Nothing. Zero. They know they got you.
zero.
That's
Yep.
it. Let this kid sweat it out. Let the producers sweat it out. We're not giving you any chance to get $1 back. That's it. The cash out offer is not happening. Complete bedlam, by the way, in Florida right now. The
I
Bruins,
see this.
Yeah, you see this. This is what happens when hockey playoff games get out of hand. The beginning of a series, as far as the score, you got to take matters into your own hands. You get in front of the net. You start running into people. And boy, oh boy, that one's getting nuts. Okay, well,
what is the point?
We got a series.
What is the point of this? What
you have to send a message. You remember these days?
What message
listen,
are you sending?
We'll
I'm
see
going to
you
fight you if you're leading
in
5-1
Boston.
again?
Yeah, if you get ahead, there's 8 minutes left. We're going to rub our stinky gloves in your face. We're going to hit you with the stick. We're going to make it known. When you come to Boston, you're going to have a rough time of it, okay? But one thing that I know is that this series is not going to be a sweep. We talked about it yesterday.
No.
I was looking into wiring you the money. The clip went viral. The boys did a good job with that clip. Minus 185, that there would not be a series sweep in round 2 of the NHL playoffs. Check off 1. That's good, okay? Now, we saw the games last night. I don't think there's going to be a sweep in those, okay? Colorado, Dallas. Dallas probably win game 2. We'll get that one out of the way. All right, no team to record a sweep. It's been adjusted. Did they move it down? Is that right? Wetzel, what is that price?
Minus 150. Now, you have the Rangers up 2-0. So, but Carolina's going back home. They're
winning.
Cares, though, right? They're going to win 1 game. I mean,
yes.
And hockey players, unlike the NBA, they don't give up down 3-0 hockey players. The intensity will be there. So, minus 150 is great to me. I mean, I don't see how there's going to be a sweep. Again, the Ranger one might be the one. But you think Edmonton's going to sweep Vancouver? I don't really think that. We got Colorado up 1-0 against Dallas, but Dallas is not going to get swept, right? So, that's as good a minus 150 bet as I think you'll ever have. I really do believe that.
Winning. It's winning. It'll probably be over as soon as Vancouver and Edmonton split. That one will be done.
Right.
That one. That's just listen. That's just have them just make the play, have them hold the cash, and then enjoy the back and forth of the NHL playoffs. I had so much fun last night after we finished the show watching the hockey. I'm gonna do the same tonight. What are we talking about in the morning? All right. What is it? Vancouver and an unbelievable performance by the entire team, a crazy type of game over, or Edmonton takes care of, the reason why they're the big series favorite. What do you think? What's the verdict?
I think we're talking Knicks blow a lead against Indiana. Bruins collapse against the Florida Panthers. And this third-string goaltender stands on his head, and Vancouver wins 5-2, I'm hoping, or even 4-3. I need 7 goals, so 5-2. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're underestimating Vancouver. It's like a classic public team, Edmonton versus Vancouver. And we've seen those teams like Winnipeg, Nashville all lose. So now it's Vancouver's turn to be the nobody team. But I think they win tonight. What about you?
I think Vancouver wins tonight, and I think we get another entertaining game. I think you might be able to even bet the draw. It worked yesterday. You bet the game to be a draw after 60 minutes at a nice price. I think that's an option. Before we go, I don't know if you paid attention, but it was 3-3 Baltimore and Washington. Baltimore went ahead 5-3, and now it's tied 5-5 in the bottom of the 11.
Wow.
So we could have done the thing with the plus and the plus and the plus and the plus. And now, if they get out of the inning, you could do it again. So bet the plus to take the plus.
Bet the plus.
To then just another plus.
Another goal, Florida, and plenty of more fighting. It's a big run that this game's going to take forever.
Give me one more goal on the way out.
There you go. Lead with the goal horn. David Stook, in the game coming up next.